Ever since I came out of a train station in South Korea, there have been people selling magazines in key areas. It's called Big Issue, and it's sold by homeless people as part of their rehabilitation. It's not for everyone, but for people who are trying to get back on their feet. Big Issue is a magazine that is sold all over the world, not just in Korea. The celebrities on the cover do it for free because they know it's for a good cause. These homeless people get together and play soccer. Korea's first participation in this was a movie called Dream. The actors in Dream are Park Seo-joon and IU. In the case of IU, when she appears as an actress, she uses her real name, Lee Ji-eun. Here, she used her singer's name, IU, so it felt familiar and awkward at the same time. As the movie begins, Yoon Hong-dae Park Seo-joon is playing for a professional team. It's the last game before Team Ace leaves for Europe, and all the spotlights are on him. He tries his best, but it's not easy, and he ends up getting in the way, which makes him the center of attention and draws unwanted attention. On the way out after the match, a reporter asks a question. Hong-dae's mom is on the run from a fraud case, and the reporter asks if she knows about it and if she's hiding it. Hong-dae can't take it anymore and does something big. He stabs the reporter between the eyes with his fingers. In the presence of all the reporters, the incident goes viral across the country, creating memes and making people aware of Hong-dae-yoon. He's about to lose his life as a player, but he's good-looking enough to be scouted by an entertainment agency. There's a homeless soccer tournament and they need a coach. The agent suggests that you go there, make a good impression, and make your entertainment debut. The event was going to be made into a documentary by the station, so they thought it would be a good idea to appear in it. The documentary was directed by Lee So-minimum IU, who was putting her life on the line for the documentary because the ratings were not good so far. As soon as they met, they were snarling at each other. Hongdae, who didn't like the situation, and So-min, who didn't like Hongdae's lack of cooperation when she had to work hard. A documentary is a documentary, but after all, it wouldn't be fun to watch if it didn't have a story. To that end, So-min has already picked out the person who will participate in the homeless competition. Kim Won-dong Kim Jong-soo is a successful boss who became homeless. Jeon-hyo Bong Ko-chong-sok, who was so good that he couldn't pay back the money he lent and got divorced. Sun Bum Soo Jung Sung-gil, who somehow ended up homeless but loved Jin-ju Lee Ji-yeon, who warmed him up. Professional Soo Young-yeon Min, a former gangster but too sensitive. Cho Young-jin Hong Won-pyo, a man of few words and not sure why he became homeless. Finally, Kim In-sun Lee Yun-woo, whose heart was broken by the loss of his beloved. This is the first time they've ever played soccer in their lives, and none of them can kick a ball properly. Since they're homeless, they have even less physical strength. Hongdae is almost hopeless because they have to do everything from scratch. Wong In-guk Heo Jun-sok, who wants to lead the team and participate in the homeless competition, needs to get investment, but it's hard. The fact that they're homeless is probably the biggest reason for their reluctance, and they can't even hit the ball well enough to get it into the goal. So-min, who is filming a documentary, wants to make a convincing scene by scowling at Hongdae. The team is struggling with a full team and no players, with injuries during practice. The story of whether or not they're going to be able to play is the first half, and the second half is showing them actually going out there and competing. If you look at it from the same perspective, the first half gives each character a narrative and makes you feel for them, so that you can go into the second half and empathize and nod your head in agreement. It succeeds in making you not only empathize, but also cry. The director of this movie is Lee Byung-hun, who did a huge box office hit in Korea with Extreme Job, which mobilized 16 million people. The biggest feature is the language play, which is extremely local and unique to Korea. You have to know the flavor of Korean to be able to enjoy it and laugh at it. And there are a lot of scenes in the beginning that make you laugh at each other's lines. Especially when So-min and Hongdae are giggling and ignoring each other. It was a little fun to watch. IU's acting is a side of her that she hasn't shown before. Usually, a movie is divided into a supporting cast and a lead cast. The lead cast has the most appearances, represents the movie, and leads the story. In that sense, this movie is a movie where the lead is the supporting cast and the supporting cast is the lead. In the beginning, Hong Dae and So Min lead the way and drive this team, but as the movie progresses, they become supporting roles. When you watch a soccer match, it's centered around the players who are playing and the story follows them, so when you watch it backwards, the actors have to be good and it has to be an ensemble, otherwise it can be weird, but I'm very happy with the actors' performances. They were already good actors, but they stood out even more in this movie. So Park Seo Joon and IU, who appeared even though they knew that, looked amazing. They are all characters who are at the bottom, like the expression homeless. So Min and Hongdae are also at the bottom, and they have to get back on their feet through this competition. And it was touching to see them compete and become one. I saw an interview where you said that you struggled a lot to make this movie. They said it was hard to get investment because it was a movie about homeless people. The movie was also difficult to shoot during the coronavirus pandemic. The match scene was filmed in Hungary, and it seems that it was filmed there for a month. I knew that Park Seo Joon liked soccer, but when I watched the movie, he was good at it. Recently, many sports movies have been released in Korea, and every time I watch them, I am satisfied and moved. This movie is also based on a true story, so I became more emotionally immersed. Futsal is in fashion these days, and watching the movie made me want to play futsal again after a while.